Welcome back. I just saw Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi, starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. And this movie did not disappoint. I was really excited about seeing this movie, first of all, because after Twinless, I was like, okay, I'm on the Dylan O'Brien train, and whatever he's doing, I'm on it. And Rachel McAdams, because of About Time, I've been on that train too. So this movie, a lot of trains are coming to the station for me. Sam Raimi, growing up, Spider Man is one of my favorite films. And then to learn he made Evil Dead, Dark Man, Drag Me to Hell, all of these characters and people that are creatives on this team, I was totally strapped in for this movie. And then the premise, uh, a lower level employee, over demanding boss, kind of a dick. I just so many things are in this movie that I wanted to enjoy and I ended up enjoying. Um, the thing with this film, right off the back, with Sam Raimi at the helm, it's gonna be some campiness to it. It's gonna be, not grotesque, but a fun grotesque movie. And with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, they make sure that you're having fun the whole time because they're having fun the whole time. And I think I really have to commend those two because, Sam Raimi's going to do his thing. And I think he does do his thing, especially with this script. But these two have so much fun in it. Like Rachel McAdams is having a lot of fun, especially that last 20 minutes. It really turns up then. But the whole way through, you're just very much enthralled in their performance and the kind of gags that they go through. Um, One thing I'll say, I was trying to think about it. I was like, there were moments when the movie does really slow down, and I thought of it like when the movie's really good, it's like you're on a bike and you're really pedaling hard, and then some moments the movie would just stop pedaling, and it won't be like you're going down a hill and you're coasting. It'll just be like you're going straight. If you stop pedaling, you just like really slow down, and then you pick back up. I didn't like that. I thought the movie could be a little more punchy. Um, the gags should have kept coming, could have kept us like really having fun. But there were moments when it was really slow. Um, like the moment when we find out Rachel McAdams, basically led her husband to his death. She was like, hey, he went too far that night. He's a drunk, and usually I hide his keys, but this time I did not hide his keys. And she knew like he more than likely will get in an accident. And he did, and he died. And Dylan O'Brien learns that. And then he shares like, of course, my dad's the CEO of the company, so he's missing. Then the mom was like physically abusive, mentally, verbally, all that. So it's like they had this moment where they both kind of shed their shells and we kind of understand who they are. But then the fun thing about the movie is like they do that and then immediately are trying to backstab each other. I think that was really fun. Yeah, but Send Help, I'm glad this movie really was fun. And another thing was there'll be moments I'm laughing, but then like you'll stop laughing and then you'll hear the crowd laugh. And I'm just thinking about my experiences with other comedies and movies, like Anaconda. I mean, yeah, people laugh, but not really that much. It was like those little laughs. It's like, but this was like crowd laughing, like laughing where sometimes you couldn't hear the audio because people are laughing, like actually having a good time. That's why I'm like, go see this. This is a good time. Um, Even though it's bloody, like my fiance, she does not like blood in movies and like the whole gore thing. But even she had a good time because she's like, yeah, it worked. It was having fun with it. And I think that really worked for this film. Um, I'll just go through things that I really enjoy. I think this script did really well in painting. Well, Rachel Adams did a really good job of taking this Linda character and like being like when she's at home, she's talking to her bird, and then they pair over like, oh, she has all these Survivor books. She loves Survivor. Kind of really makes sense for her character. We never get to see Dylan O'Brien at home. That's something that's not there, but that's fine. But we get to see him in the office, and of course he's a sleaze bag. Like he's interviewing some tall blonde woman, and he's like, are you willing to go above and beyond for the job? And it's like, okay, whoa. Um, really not a nice guy. And even when the movie, um, you think Rachel McAdams gonna get a promotion. He's like, hey, his father said I will become a VP, and then of course the son gets in and he's like, no, my frat brother's becoming VP. Very simple. Um, but it was it really worked, and then I think the setup of it that was good, and then the plane crash scene. It was first is like a really hard um turbulence, and of course Dylan O'Brien's character, but he has this really weaselly laugh, like you guys are pussies. Like he just like very cartoonish, but not in a overacting cartoonish way, but in a very like Dylan O'Brien cartoonish, this little weaselly guy. I like that about him. Let's say after Twinless, I've been like, I really like him as an actor, and hope to see him in more stuff. And I think he was good in this. But when they're on the plane and really hard turbulence, and the stewardess is like, "Hey, everyone, get in your seat, put your seatbelt on," and then all the guys are standing up. They're like, "What are you, a pussy?" They're laughing, and then you feel, oh, it goes really hard, and everyone is like, "Oh shit, get a seatbelt." And the only ones who has a seatbelt on are the stewardess, Dylan O'Brien, and Rachel McAdams' character, Linda. Um, and then, of course, the guys are trying to get out. The guy who's the frat brother trying to become VPs, like trying to grab at Rachel McAdams, like, help me. She's trying to help, but then he's trying to get the seatbelt off her. And it's like, okay. She grabs a fork. Hey, stabs him. He flies out. And then he's stuck. His necktie, his head is hitting the side of the airplane. When I tell you the crowd was dying laughing, like, just laughing. And I was like, wow, this movie's going to be different, because the crowd understands too. Like, the violence is not done in a way where it's like scary violent, but fun violent. Even saying that out loud sounds insane. But I'm saying a good director can only do that. We can have fun violence, and that's where this works in this movie. Sorry, my nose is a little itchy. But yeah, so they crash, and Rachel McAdams immediately starts going into survival mode. Saving. But I think a good twist in the movie was when she sees the boat. Because Dylan O'Brien is kind of handicapped. She sees a boat, and first she's like, help. And then she does, not just yet. And that's when we get like, okay, she really is she's crazy. And I think that's what makes it fun. Rachel Adams is really leaning into the crazy. Like, there's a scene where she gives him a neurotoxin and his body's numb, and she takes off his pants, takes off his underwear, and it's like, we used to have a dog, he used to make a mess, and we just had to take care of him. So the whole crowd's like, oh, like she's gonna cut his balls off. And then when she's doing it, like she gets that knife hot, starts, you hear it, everyone's like, and then blood squirts up. Everyone's like, and Dylan O'Brien's character just like, he's playing the scene really well, just like being stuck. And he's like, he's stuck, can't do anything. In that moment, I really thought, oh, she's really cutting his balls off. And then she lifts up a rat and is like, okay, try that again. Because he tried to escape, and she was like, you try to escape again, I'll hurt you. Yeah, the movie just has a lot of gags. But I think the worst gag for me was there was a whole house on the island on the other side. And when we see that, even though the audience is like, oh my God, like there's a house. And man, I don't even know how I would feel if I was stuck on an island and the whole time there was a house. I would be, I'll be pretty mad. And he goes in and he's like drinking water. Of course, Rachel McAdams already knows the house is there because we see earlier when she was on the boat. And I really like this scene where, and I miss that in movies, like our character looks at the camera. Like when she's telling the story, and mind you, she looks crazy because Dylan O'Brien tried to eye gouge her. Half her hair is ripped out, and she's looking at the camera like, I was not finished with you. And it was like, okay. We're strapped in with this movie, and Rachel McAdams is strapped in, Sam Raimi strapped, like everyone is strapped in with this movie. And I think it really ends on a great gag because they keep being like, he's like, what are you in accounting? And she's like, strategy and planning. And when we think Dylan O'Brien has a leg up on her, and he's like, Linda from accounting, she's like, strategy and planning. And this really good shot of her, because he loves golf. So she's hitting the golf swing to hit his head, but then ends up being a golf ball. It really worked. I really like that transition. And the ending of this movie where, they're like, you're the sole survivor of a plane crash. How did you do it? And she's like, no one's coming to save you. So, you got to save yourself. And it's just like, oh, she's nasty. And when she's driving off at the end of the movie, she does this thing where she already does a wink earlier at the golf course. She does the wink. But then when she does again, she looks at the camera like, you think I'm playing? I'm not. And then keeps driving. And I think I'm like, okay, that right there is exactly why you got to get a bigger name actress to do this. Could you be like, hey, this is you. We're putting you all at the forefront. You're having the fun, and she has fun with this. Rachel McAdams really, and I think that I was like, I like that. I miss when our villains would look at the camera and laugh. You just need those moments, and this really worked for me. Yeah, so I highly recommend. Actually, I'll give it like, just a recommend. I recommend Send Help. It's a fun time. I think it'd be a fun date movie if you and your partner. It's a fun date movie, but I had a really great time. If you saw it, let me know what you think. And my next movie, I don't know, but you know how I'm doing. 150 movies. I think I already reached 15, so I'm doing pretty good already. But see you guys next time, and thanks for joining.